Hello, thank you for watching my video today, and thank you for everybody who is starting to subscribe. I appreciate it. Before I get started, there's one thing that I really want to try to make clear. Somebody asked me, why am I doing this? And excuse me, just finished lunch. Okay, now, somebody had said, where do I want to go with this? And it made me think. I really don't, I don't want to, how can I put this? What's important for me is that in the next upcoming elections, is that there are a record number of voters. Now, whether you vote Republican, Independent, Democrat, whatever, that's not important to me. What's important to me is that you vote. Is that really, not whether you win or lose, but that you start taking responsibility. As this is a very powerful thing to vote. I would say, like, in the last 30 years, it's come, it's come out to where people have less than 2.5% of the whole population of this nation, of the United States, has voted. The people who can vote, people who are have their citizenship, less than 2.5% of the United States votes, and I think that's an embarrassment. I really do. Now, I really hope that my videos that I've done prompt you just to get out and vote. I really do. Now, whether you do or not, there's nothing I can do about that. But where do I see myself in the future? I hope I'm still doing this. I hope I'm still talking about getting out and voting. I'm not. I'm not here to say that one particular political group is better than the other. No, I'm not. But when it comes to really what they stand for and how they come up with the bills and how they, want to regulate their authority, is up to us. It is totally up to us. But I will say this. I would say 100% of all the politicians that have been in political office for the last 20 years, they need to be taken out and shot on both sides. They need to be taken out and shot and getting rid of. We need to have politicians that really do mean when they say, what, I'm here for my constituents. I'm here for the people that voted for me. I'm going to do my best to get laws passed or to preserve laws to protect them. That is my goal. That's what I want. To have the United States of America to really be that. The United States of the Americans. And if you're a politician and you've been a politician for more than 20 years, I have no ambition of ever shaking your hand, meeting you. You disgust me. You literally disgust me. How dare you can sit there and make judgments on people that have fed you, that have clothed you for decades. And one in particular thing I'm talking about is this illegal immigration status bullshit. That's all it is. the lily white evangelical supremacists, they feel that their piece of the pie is being taken. Well, it is, okay? It is, because you don't want to go get it. You don't want to earn your wages. You want them to be given to you. All you're bitching about is lies. They're all lies. Like I've said in previous videos, I've contacted welfare offices across America. And what is their policy when it comes to illegal immigrants? Illegal immigrants do not get food stamps, welfare. In the case of medical, if it is life-threatening, they'll get a doctor attended to them. But it is the white bullshit and all the white politicians and even some of the African American politicians who are Republican. They want to stay in office, and they want to stay to where they can get the money from lobbyists that can go ahead and grease their pockets, get all the money that they want while they're in office. Like I said a while back, most of the salaries are really not that impressive. So why are these guys worth millions? Well, they get the money from the corporations. They get the money from handouts of other, all I can say is groups of people that want their agenda spread. That's it. Republicans want to get rid of unions, and it looks like it's working. Look at General Motors. It was totally promised, by this President dipshit Trump, that all these jobs are going to come back to America. No, they're not. They're leaving. They're leaving because of all these tax breaks that all the middle class never got. He gave a bunch of the rich billionaires, gave them the opportunity to keep all their money. They don't have to pay taxes on it. They don't have to pay the government. They can keep more of their money. Okay? Well, with that being said, the government has to run on something, so they're going to have to tax the middle class a lot more. People who have minimum wage jobs. Well, next couple of years, their taxes are going to skyrocket. Okay? And you're going to have more people that say, well, screw this, I don't want to work. Well, okay, now, with that being said, let's talk about white privilege. White privilege is extreme. It's out there. It is. And white, the whites, the whites, they crack me up. Though there's no such thing as white, white privilege. Yeah, there is. Yes, there is. Show me one white person that's been pulled over for being white. Show me one white person that has been asked when they got pulled over, how do you afford this car? Show me one white person that has been asked by other white people, hey, where did you learn to talk English so well? Hey, are you native or are you Mexican? Show me one white person that's experienced that show me one white person that has gone into a restaurant and the whole restaurant staff has just walked by them because of the assumption they don't speak English. No, white privilege is extreme. And I saw a program yesterday, it was from earlier date, I don't know how early ago, where that idiot Dr. Phil, that stupid idiot, who's really good friends with Oprah, was talking about, oh no, this is what really white privilege is about. No. Any white man that tries to tell me, oh, this is what white privilege is about, I tell him, fuck you. Really? Oh yeah. And they look at me and say, oh my goodness, Well, dude, oh no, there is no white man that's going to sit there and say he understands what white privilege is. I don't care if you are on your last welfare stamp and your kids have not eaten for 2 weeks, doesn't matter. You will always get treated better than the person of color on welfare. Period. That's what that's about. Now, I was listening to that talk show, Rush Limbaugh, today. And I do listen to right-wing radio. Has nothing to do with me agreeing with them. The reason why I do it is because, as I've said in previous videos, to defeat an enemy, you have to speak their language. Okay? Now, the language of the right wing is let me speak in riddles. Okay? Let me speak in untruth. All right? Rush Limbaugh today said that there's a thing called economic growth. What's the percentage of economic growth? Okay, now, economic growth, okay, as far as I'm concerned, is how are people spending money? How much money are people spending? Okay, how much goods are being bought by Americans? Doesn't matter what goods, groceries, whatever, cars, houses, as a whole. Not everybody's buying a brand new house, but a lot of people are buying food, and that goes part into the economic growth. And I'm sure you guys know that. But Rush Limbaugh made the quote, okay, that when Barack Obama, was president, that the economic growth never exceeded, I think he said 2% or something like that. Never got close to 3%. Yeah, well, he needs to check it, because I did a fact check. And I think back in 2012, what was it? It was over 3%. Okay, now the economic growth, which I really kind of don't believe it, because it's done every year. In other words, they're saying that they say that they can tally that the economic growth yearly. Well, anybody who sells anything, okay, all their receipts, all their taxes, they have to come in yearly, and then they're going to figure it out. Well, how much did people spend? How much did people buy? All this other stuff. No, it has to fluctuate. I don't think they can get a real exact amount every year. Okay, I think it's off, by a substantial amount of points. But with that being said, the reason why I watch those shows is because I really carefully listen to the lies that they talk about and the subject matter of what they choose to speak about, and how they will sit there and yell and rant and rave and talk about, let's talk about this situation over here, and it'll be diversion of what's really going on over here. They do that very well. And they do that so that the conservative white base looks down on everybody else. And it works. And it's worked for years. Okay? Rush Limbaugh is not an economic whiz. Rush Limbaugh can chow down cheeseburgers like you wouldn't believe. I really would like to know how he can maintain his fatness all these years, and how much fat he has, and really not be concerned about his health. But hey, that's just me. I'm not saying that I'm, ready to enter a bodybuilding contest next week. I got a lot of work to do also. But that is basically what I want to do, is just to have people go, hey, wow, maybe I should check this out. Maybe I should listen to a progressive show and a conservative show just to see what they're talking about. I'm not saying, support them. I'm not saying, what do you call it? If you can, if it affects you enough for you to become an activist, hey, I think I did a good job. But that's what we need. We need a lot more middle class. We need a lot more Latins. We need a lot more natives. We need a hell of a lot more African Americans to get involved. Don't let Reverend Al do your talking for you. Okay, I'm not saying what he said is lies. I'm not saying to. I don't want to contradict anything he says, because I'll be honest with you, I think I've only heard him a couple of his speeches. Nothing. I really don't follow him that well. But if you are tired, I'm telling you right now, it's going to get worse. It will get worse. This administration really messed things up. And the people that were in office, the politicians that were in office now, let it happen. Okay, and I'm talking both Republicans and Democrats, and whoever else is in the House. Okay? Thank you for listening. Be safe out there, and please spread the news. Thank you.